Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing God of War Ragnarok. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Zarel. Let's get to it. Alright, so today we're exploring Vanaheim, but before we get to that, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and ring that bell to be notified of all future episodes as soon as they go live. So let's get into it. So previously, we came to Vanaheim in an uneasy alliance with Freya because she could not go outside of Midgard. Odin saw to that, and something in Vanaheim was preventing it, and she couldn't do anything about it. She needed our help, and she said, "You owe me. You're going to help me." As it turns out, we said, "Hey," Kratos in particular said, "Hey, I'm not here because of the debt. I'm here because I'm here to help my friend. You helped us when Atreus was sick. I'm going to help you in your time of need." So it was, honestly, the most emotion that we probably seen from Kratos in a long while. Aside from that, I think Freya began to see us helping not because of a debt, but because of that bond that she didn't necessarily see at the time. That Kratos isn't just one-sided, just a stone cold killer, and using her to help himself. Instead, it was, I do you a favor because I can help you out. You do me a favor because you can help me out, etc. And at some point, I'm not exactly sure when that kind of dawned on her that was what was going on. All right, so as a result, Freya, we found out, has sigil arrows, which help us. It's a good tool for furthering our adventuring. Some things that were locked before are now unlocked, and then Brock shared the sonic arrows with her. She shared sigil arrows with him. So I assume that Atreus will get the sigil arrows shortly. So it all works out.
Tears really alive?
Aye. Not exactly.
Now, what I'm curious from you guys, when you are done with a region or a realm, and it doesn't have to be necessarily just God of War, but certainly God of War, how do you proceed when you're within a storyline? If the main campaign takes you away from a region, do you continue in the region, or do you just go straight through the main campaign first and then come back around and do, the side quests and whatnot?
That's troubling.
I'm curious. All right, so now Freya is learning about how Atreus was approached by Odin. Odin said, "Hey, why don't you come to Asgard with me while Thor's beating up your dad?"
I have some unfinished business up this river.
And at this point, we can continue in Vanaheim, or we can follow the main campaign. So for this video, I think we're going to go ahead and continue in Vanaheim. Although, at some point, I think I realized that Vanaheim, when we first got here, it was, kind of night, and then we saw, as we were returning to the camp with Freya, to Freyr's camp, we saw the wolf chase the moon, and then it was day, and then the roots came up. So there's day and night, and the topography of the map changes. So it's a bit of a puzzle in that respect. But unlike most day-night cycles in games, this one is not timed.
Left something behind. Near
It
the
appears that at some point we'll be able to control it.
to be free of the
How we control it will have to be revealed probably during the main campaign. So there's only going to be so much that we can do. Alright, so now Freya is wanting to sever her marriage completely. You know, it's kind of like, well, you kind of made it clear that you're not married to Odin anymore. And she's like, well, there's something else I can do about that. So whatever she has in mind, that's a side quest for Vanaheim. And then, of course, we also have the side quest to find that mysterious orb for that dwarf acquaintance of Brock's.
My people settled this river many ages ago.
So Vanaheim is
Pilgrimage to the shrine
where Freya was born,
in the Aesir.
although I don't think she considers it her home any longer. So the Vanir, I think she still considers her people.
Reavers, of course.
Then the Aesir came around, and then, I mean, it's very much, you know, colonialism, where you have one realm coming in and subjugating another. Because that's essentially what happened between the Aesir and the Vanir. Those guys explode. I thought maybe it was some counterattack. No, no, no. They actually explode. It just doesn't have the same ring as an explosion. It's a poison cloud, I think. So here's another callback from
I am here.
the last God of War game. In Midgard, there were different ghosts that had little side quests for you.
What do you need?
And so this is also the same kind of thing. I'm assuming we'll find out here in a second. Cure for the dead. Sure enough, a favor or side quest, whatever you want to call it. She demands a cure. She's dead.
Ignorant
She's
of
trapped here. She doesn't realize she's dead.
she'll move on.
If we bring what she needs, she'll move on.
Going to do nothing. She needs mangold, mire, and palm. We should find some.
Even though her people are, you know, one of her people's dead, she's still bent on helping. Freya's still bent on helping them, so. And who am I to say no, especially when you get something out of it? Alright, so sigil arrows at the fire cause a burst. There we go. And that showed us the one of the two control points that we can hit. There we go. Bridge comes down, and away we go.
What did you find?
Alright, what is this? Must be one of the things that we need. Sure enough. So we got a Noken. Take him out right at the beginning. That would be nice. Almost. There we go. So the Noken's down. So we should be able to take these guys out. Oh, he's healing. So there's another one around here. Let's see. Off to the left. Have to kind of give yourself a little bit of room. This guy's right on top of me too. Almost have to stun him, and I don't know that I can. There we go. Take this guy out. There we go. Now we can see, watch that, the health bar disappear off these guys. Oh, look at that. Frozen. Nice. So Freya's a little bit more aggressive in the fights than Atreus. Oop, shield bash.
Did you recognize her? The sickly spirit.
No. There was a time I could recall the face of every one of my people, but
There we go, 2 out of 3. So this whole section might be just for that side quest. Now don't assume all these ghost side quests are going to be the same. So there's another drawbridge, and there's more bramble that we have to take care of. We have to burn. And okay, so there is a fire on the right. There we go. We released it, so we're going to have to swing it left to right because that's the only way this is going to work. So we'll have to do a flame burst maybe. Give it a good swing. Flame burst. There we go. There's fire there. Now I have to get it as it's going to the right. Oh, that was a miss. I'm going to have to swing it again. It's slowing down. Alright, there we go. Hit it now. There we go. Now we have to get that other brazier lit. It's just like so close. I think we could probably... There we go. And then... And there we go. We've got it. And just one point to hit. There we go. We got some hack silver. Nice. A little extra from the vases that we destroy.
What's it say, brother?
Another lore marker. Just look around a little bit, make sure we're not missing anything, like a bucket hanging from the arch. We'll go ahead and grab that before we move on. 10 shattered rune, nothing wrong with that. I'll always take those crafting materials, hack silver, any of that stuff, because I know I'm going to use it. For upgrades, at least I can... there we go, that's the last one. Here's a few more vases that we can get a little bit of hack silver from, I assume. Yep, there we go. Let us return to the spirit. Alright, just do a quick scan here, make sure we're not missing anything. See the little turtle hanging up there? Ah, there we go. Almost missed that. And of course he jumped as soon as I... There.
I wonder if it might be worth visiting the Raven Tree.
It's easy to miss some things if you're not, looking around. Ooh, there's more enemies. Look at that. Shield bash. Did a little Valkyrie swing. The guy exploded. And I didn't feel like I was close enough. Ooh, the old Alfheim slash. And he blew up. So the sigil arrows, not only do they enhance elemental effects, so fire and ice, but they also destabilize the enemies. So like the Rihar, I don't know, something like that. Rihar, or Aini for short. Those guys have a shield. You hit them with a sigil arrow, shield disappears. So, all right. So we got this side quest done. Don't expect the rest of the ghost favors or side quests to go as straightforward or as easily as that one. The first one is always kind of a gimme, and after that, you have to work for them. Just like with the sigil arrows with the flame brazier, it's all set up for you, and it's easy. After that, you have to kind of figure it out, depending on the order that you do them. So one of the things from the last God of War, and it continued on this one, when you're in the boat, you get these stories like talking about how Freya got burned. So it was interesting. It was always interesting. So sometimes I would just kind of paddle around because I wanted to hear the rest of the whole story. Because once you leave the boat, they'll stop what they're doing. They'll stop talking. They'll be like, "Oh, that's for another time."
Odin didn't mind often fair up. He saw the potential of the magic and wanted to know more than how to improve crop yield. You know what? We'll finish this later.
Although I'm not really sure why they stopped it there, since we're not on land. I would have liked to have heard the rest of it, and I'm sure we'll get back to it once we get to a point where it's not a big deal. Now, one of the nice things about the Mystic Gateway, so the Mystic Gateways act as fast travel points, even within the realm. So you can go through one gateway, come out another one, and never leave Vanaheim, so to speak. Those things, in the last video, I realized that they shot out little things. That must have been one of those little lizards that disappear when you try to attack it directly. Because there was a decent amount of stuff that he left behind. So even though I didn't see it, it was there. Alright, and there's a raven, but we can't quite get to it. It's a little too far away. So once again, we got a gateway. We can take the gateway, we can start, go to a different part of Vanaheim, one of the other gateways that are open, unlocked, or we can follow the path, or go somewhere else. Alfheim still has things that need to be done, etc. So we got to fight here with whatever that is. We've got some oil jars that we can explode. I think that's a nightmare. Yes. And those sigil arrows are not tracking very well. See if we can get a good attack in here. If we don't get attacked first. There's a little bit of a wind-up with once you ice your axe. This looks like one of the witches, or I'm not sure what they're called. I don't know which light runic attack I want with the axe, because I don't really like any of them. Maybe the one where you toss it. Hag. The hags. Because they kind of like disappear and then reappear. If I hit it with a sigil arrow, maybe that'll keep it from disappearing. I don't know. Play around with it a little bit. As I've said before, I like the Leviathan axe. If I only had the choice of one, that would be, one thing. Here we go. Here's another side quest.
But to what end?
When the Einherjar came,
When the Einies came, we needed a way to fight back. I suggested cedar magic. That was foolish. That was so foolish. That was so foolish. Why would you do such a thing?
Of course.
Alright, so we gotta do that.
Ruthlessly. Those poor souls must be in agony.
Then we shall give them.
So there's some zombies around somewhere. I mean, we're gonna have to find them. Wow, a big 5 hack silver from dropping the oil jar. Alright, so we saw one of the Nornir keys next to the river. But the other ones are maybe up on top of the cliff. Oop, well, we gotta take care of these nightmares first. Nothing like an ambush right next to the chest. Alright, now I see these things, but I'm not really I wasn't really sure what to do with them. But then I had powered up my axe and froze it. And then, once that happens, you destroy it, and then you pick something up off the ground right next to you. So, if you see those suckers, hit them with a sigil arrow, and then freeze them with your axe. You could probably burn them with your blades, but I just stuck with what I knew. So a little bit of hidden treasure, Easter egg, that they don't necessarily talk about. Alright, so this is the direction for her side quest. Yeah, waterfalls up close.
That's quite a gate.
that's a giant gate.
I can open it. We just
I can open it, but we have to be at the right angle, which is not on the boat. So I think that's probably something that you have to change day to night in order to actually progress. And unfortunately, the mysterious orb is within the same general location. So that, unfortunately, we'll probably have to come back to it. Just like this raven, I don't know exactly what angle we need to be at to hit it during the day, if at all possible. Alright, here's a chest on the right side. And apparently it was a garden, and now it's not. Well, that's Fimbulwinder for you, as Brock would say. Alright, so new area. We got these golems, I want to say. Oop, there's something. Ooh, that's not a golem. It's like a bull and a tiger had a baby. Oop, get out of the way. Guys are blowing up left and right. It's like, oh, you defeated me. Haha. Or did you? Yeah, I don't like these guys right next to the shoreline. It makes it more difficult to deal with them. There we go. That one's down. Now we just have one. No, never mind. Now we have two. Two of the big guys. Got the runic attack. There we go. Got the rage burst. I like the rage burst because you know, even if you're not in, there we go, down to 1, and get a health burst. So that's good. I need it. My health is getting a little slim, a little bit more slim than I'd like. Daughter Gren Unger. Yeah, it's a level 3. Now we fought one at least like it before, but it was in a slightly smaller arena with a tree in the middle, which made it a little bit easier. Plus I had, I want to say I had more health and more of a rage meter that made it easier, so I could fall back on the rage if I needed it. So we've got, well, that didn't help. I mean, it will, but you know what I mean. Not in the immediate time frame. The sigil arrows really don't seem to, oh, that was a decent parry at least. Don't seem to do a whole lot. And this guy, his stun meter is just not, there we go. There we go. Speaking of stun meter, he apparently was higher than I thought. It looked like it was really low. There we go. A little bit more health. Nothing wrong with that.
The creatures aren't always this ravenous. The ecosystem.
Gradungar or Grayungar? I can't tell if that's an accent on an O or if it's a D. Oh, looks like another side quest. Haven't even finished the other side
What
quest,
happened to you?
and we got another
To
one.
your garden?
That's not. I mean, that is to be expected in God of War. We had I don't know how many side quests going. I did personally, anyway, in the last God of War
Never
game,
apologize to me.
and then at some point I was sufficiently far enough in the main campaign where I had the tools to complete the side quests. So some of the side quests are intended to be
Kratos, we
impossible
poison.
at your current level, and then you have to
Why?
move on with the main quest, and
So long as the land
so
is clear,
eventually I think we'll come to a point where we've done everything that we can currently do, and we'll just have to come back.
see that explosive?
Now I feel like we could probably
Maybe you could
go back to Alfheim and do some of that, but we'll see. Alright. So while we're here on this
mentions a spell that puts trolls
little island,
and a magic relic
we'll
that
do
makes
this
it a
lore
sort of
marker,
spell.
and of course we've got that. Oh, and we've got the little Easter egg. We can freeze and pick up a little bit of extra loot. Open this door. It's so violent. It opens so violently. But those were seals that Odin put on. It's like his personal seal, if I remember correctly.
Armor piece bearing Lunda's brand. Shame it's broken.
Ah,
Nice bit of work otherwise.
Lunda's broken belt.
You suspicious of her, brother?
Now the dwarf had 3 pieces of armor broken. She said, "Bring it back, and I'll fix it up." All right. So the garden task is we have to find the explosive jar, and that'll burn off the poisonous plants. So we just have to get the right angle, and then shoot the arrow, and there we go.
This garden's
That's one down.
there must be more poison somewhere.
And that was maybe the easiest one. So this one, as soon as we got in, now you can hit it with a sigil arrow and then hit it with your axe, and then bring your axe back, and it will stay frozen at least for a little while.
It's finished.
So there we go.
Let's return to
That's 2 of 3. I don't know why Freya said, "Okay, we're done." Yeah, you're not done. All right, so this one actually has a aggressive plan on it. All right, so we had this on the side here. That's cool. Another artifact. 2 out of 6. Yeah, the low number ones I feel pretty good about, because each one is 1/6 of the total. When you have something that's like 1 out of 20, you're like, Okay, there's the piece that we have to destroy. That'll get rid of all the spitters. I think it's just 1 spitter, but even if it wasn't. Another lore marker, and then of course a couple things here and there, and then we can hit the, there we go. There we go, that was it. That was the last one. So before we go down, let's go down here. Get that red chest that we saw from the boat. That's why I stopped to begin with. So we can see the raven, but I think it's too far. So arrows don't really have a range, so it'd be nice if we could hit it with an arrow, but I don't think that counts. All right, so let's talk to her. All right, you kept the garden just like you promised me, so go ahead and rest now.
Thank you, goddess. I do love you.
and I you.
You've done
So
it
it's
many
nice to
times.
see
A temporary one.
uh,
We'll die again.
how Freya actually cares about her people.
That is no reason not to try.
You know, is there an ulterior motive for it? I'd like to say no, but I don't know.
Despite his actions in Midgard, Atreus does still care for you.
I know.
So
I raised a son.
more story time.
And
Atreus
everyone believed
is
he
he
was quite similar to Atreus at this age.
was worried that she was gonna
Always wanted to do right,
take Kratos out
and was constantly
when
frustrated
Kratos
that no
came to
matter what he
Midgard
did, he
to
never
find
quite
him.
seemed
After
to
2 days of Atreus being missing,
be a lot. Saw
Freya
the
attacked,
his father.
had a
I
weapon,
wonder if your son could benefit from that too.
you know, danger close
Dwarf
to Kratos, and Atreus was like,
Oh, well,
you know, I will
since he has that
I will
talent, I
end
suppose
you
there's no need
or
for me
try.
himself anymore, is there?
That is not what I meant.
That
That's
was
funny.
sarcasm.
That was sarcasm.
Mimir, what did you mean when you said Freya was not exactly a guest of the
Ah, here we go. Going back to
By the time they burned it, he'd been a prisoner for some time.
Freyr.
There's a mob of lesser Aesir, bitter and short-sighted.
Freyr tried to
Tied
teach
him
the
up and
Aesir
put him aflame.
Vanir magic, and
Punishment for the
it didn't work
sabotage he
out. They
imagined
didn't.
him guilty of.
They weren't compatible.
Obviously,
They
he's
didn't want
alive.
to try to
In fact,
learn
he
it.
was
They thought they
wanting
were,
to
you know,
escape.
natural magic
But such an
users.
affront made
And maybe
all
for
the
Aesir magic, sure.
Freyr certainly
This is
wasn't
Vanir
the same
magic.
after that. At least for a while.
So they got upset. The lesser Aesir burned him, and that's how he escaped. He was a prisoner. Before that, I see that log, and I'm just like,
I do understand.
I feel like I should be able to knock that down and get across.
Freya, there's something I've always wanted to ask. What was it Hrimthur whispered to you?
What did he whisper to you?
The son of Thormur.
Hrimthur,
He disguised himself and built
or
Asgard's
something like that.
Oh yes. One of
I know
the
my
many
pronunciations
occasions Odin saw fit to
are
involve
potentially
me
way off,
without my
but
consent.
you know what I'm talking
I wish
about.
I could say that was the worst of his husbandly habits.
What wager?
I've told this story, brother.
And now she may tell her own.
Yeah,
There wasn't
Mimir.
much to tell. I knew nothing of it at first.
So Mimir,
Surely that's what I expected.
between Freya and
A
Kratos and
mysterious
Mimir, I
face
kind of see
filled
Mimir
the
as
entire
more
wall
of the
three turns
fatherly figure.
It was two.
And if he was late,
I mean, maybe scholar, but I really feel like he's kind of the fatherly figure. Like, let's get along,
or
guys.
so
Come
I heard
on.
one day when Odin burst
But then
into
again,
our
he's just the
bedchambers,
head. What are you
raging
gonna?
and half
What is he
drunk
gonna do?
before noon, telling me to get dressed and go see what the mason wants.
So
So off I went, not knowing what had truly been promised or expected.
he built the wall
Never stashed in my robe for emergency.
around the
This
Aesir
mason
in
was a
Asgard,
giant in disguise.
His name was Hrimthur.
and he was
Smiled to see
a
me. And as you said, he whispered
giant
my
in
name.
disguise.
He said the Aesir
Came to see her
was
because
wrong.
that was
He
his
needed to
reward
know that one day
for
they
finishing the wall
I pointed out I was
in less
Aesir
than
now,
3
too.
seasons. So it's three years.
As if he somehow knew better and continued. He said
Came
he
to see her.
built in a structural
Nothing
flaw
nefarious
behind
like
the Asgard
one of the
realm.
Aesir gods would do,
How do we make use of it?
We don't.
and told her
He said Surtur would know what to do. And if Surtur
that I made a flaw.
Asgard's wall,
Then it is already ready.
Suitor.
Aye.
But Suitor is the only one that knows about the flaw.
Might have given us another way.
We know that there is a flaw, and that's about it. Alright, so go in this giant mangrove tree, or whatever it happens to be. And even though in this section we've not seen one, there's one sitting right there, one of those exploding blueberry plants. Alright, so we're well versed in what this is. You put your hand in there and there's a fight. It's usually relatively high level, somewhere in the 3 to 6 range. Honed metal, that's always nice. And then we got some bramble over here. We'll have to figure out that maybe after we fight. Oh, then there's a hanging pot. I don't know where that's hanging from though, and it's too far for me to hit from here. I'll have to try and remember where that's at. Yeah, let's go ahead and do the fight, see how that pans out. And it's always a small arena, so you really have to be on top of your game, parry, dodge, and whatnot. And just right off the bat, get socked in the face with a blast. So now I have to be careful. These are all 5s, so they're above my pay grade officially. There we go, good parry. Let's see if we can end this guy. There we go. Now we only have to deal. Oh, only have to deal with 1, but we got sucker punched right as we came out of our stun grab. Luckily, we had a resurrection stone. That was the first one. See if we can get a... that was not a good block or parry. See if we can stun grab... Oh, are you kidding me? I dislike that so much. There we go. Didn't get a stun grab in there. That's unfortunate. And now we'll reach in here and close the hole. There we go. Dust of Realms and Stonewood. Alright, so now we can focus on this. So there's 3, which is the max, and then if I use my blades on the closest one, hopefully they all are close enough. There we go. Alright, so that took care of the bramble. There's also a weak point there, if I aim it right. It's a little bit too far for a straight line. There we go. Gates open. Look at that. So it's just like slowly going down and then breaks. Wonder if that opened a hole into a basement area. Only one way to find out. We'll have to go over there and check it out. Alright, so we're here. Let's see. Well, it's not that door. It must be over here. There we go. Chest, something else. Oh, and enemies. Some nightmares. You know, it's easy to forget some of the perks that you unlock as you go along. Like, oh yeah, that thing I unlocked where you can throw the axe and it hits them multiple times if you power it up. Alright, so that's where it was at, but I don't see any holes in the floor. So let's go ahead and open this up. See what we got out of it. A jewel. So that's a... Well, you can see it right there. And at this point, I think we're done. Okay, we got ambushed by these guys. I got poisoned. That's always fantastic. And I am so close to dying. And I have no resurrection stone since I already used mine. Ooh, there's health. Let's see if I can grab it. Still in trouble though. There we go. Done. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out on social media, and thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see you next time.
That is my approach.
Ah, classic Spartan diplomacy.
Wait. Did you say Odin invited him to Asgard and then he disappeared for 2 days?
Aye. But surely the lad's got more sense than to...
Don't underestimate Odin's powers of persuasion. He filled my son's head with lies. Why wouldn't he do the same with yours?
And you tell that one-eyed nutsucker he owes me one.
Fight me now and eternally.
Well, looky there. Glad you could make the trip, your goddessness. I put your sigil magic on the young turd's bow. But then he and Sindri got into it over something. I don't rightly know who's yelling at who in there, but I figure they both...
Atreus.
Well, come on then. Hey, Tyr! Wake up! You got company. Now why don't you just make yourself at home in Sindri's so-called study over yonder?
You're sure he won't mind?
Mine? You'll be thrilled. Joint's getting classier by the day.
Be? I never thought I'd have the pleasure of seeing you again, Frigg.
Don't call me that. I haven't been that person in a long time. But I'm happy to see you too. I'd feared the worst for so long, what you must have been through.
Nothing so bad as what you've suffered. Freya, I am so sorry to hear what happened to Baldur. He was only a boy when I saw him last, but I know he meant more to you than anything.
Yes.
And to forbear your vengeance in this way, it's truly an inspiration for those of us who believe in peace.
The only peace these realms will ever know is once Odin is gone. Believe in that.
So you're not here to prevent Ragnarok, you're here to bring it about.
I'm here to make sure Odin doesn't hurt anyone, the way he hurt us.
I can see I've upset you. Forgive me. I am far removed from my days of diplomacy.
You better screw his head back on, and I mean tightly.
So you're back.
Are you ready to answer me?
About what?
Where did you go? Who did you see? Was it Odin?
What? Is that what you think?
Do you deny it? Answer me! Did you go to Asgard?
No! Of course not! But so what if I did? It's my future, it's my life.
You are my son!
Then why don't you trust me?
If you want me to trust you, then tell me the truth.
The truth is you're being a complete asshole!
Laddie, you know that's no way to change a man's mind.
He doesn't have any faith in me. It's fine if he keeps secrets. It's fine if Mom did.
It is not fine! Her secrets haunt every step of this path.
Oh, okay. So you don't believe in her anymore either?
This is not about your mother! What you have done is lie.
Wonder where I learned that.
That's quite enough.
Since when do you always take his side?
Since he became the one making sense.
Look, I was only thinking about going to Odin. But I swear it's for a good reason.
There is no good reason to go to Odin.
He'll only cloud your mind.
But I'd be going for us. I gotta stop something bad from happening.
Something bad did happen. Look at me, at Freya, at Tyr. Odin did this to us. What's got everyone caterwauling all of a sudden?
Atreus wants to go to Asgard.
Asgard? Get kicked in the head or something?
Great. I guess everybody's against me now.
You must choose who you are going to be. Are you going to continue to lie and keep things from me? Or are you my son?
Choose? I never get to choose. Just leave me alone.
Listen.
Let go of me!
Listen!
Said let go!
What the fuck?
Atreus!
It's Sindri. Just try to keep control.